Hello and welcome, Overwatch fans. We are here live. Little NJCAA action coming at you again. Overwatch this time. FBI tugboat here. This time today, I'm here with my man Clutch Key. Clutch Key, how are we doing today?
All the way from the 50th state of Hawaii. I don't know which
Yeah.
state you're in, but I mean, you must be East Coast at this point. It must be nighttime for you. So right now it's 8:10. A little bit different for me over here on the middle of the Pacific Ocean, if you will. 2:10 over here. So it's kind of the time difference is there, but we're watching the exact same game here for the exactly for the NJCAA.
Yes, sir. That is what the National Junior College Athletic Association esports wise. I remember this time, Clutch. Didn't
There
even have
you
to write it
go.
down. I promise. I
There you
promise.
go.
Just add the acronym there. It's a mouthful, but there's a reason why NJCAA just been popping off left, right, and center esports wise. Generally, this is the first or second Overwatch event I've gotten to work with the NJCAA. Generally, it's been Rocket League, but yes, making a foray into a bunch of different esports for a reason. Today, Clutchkey, we got Wake Tech. That is the Eagles taking on the Bryant-Stratton Bobcats, henceforth maybe easier referred to them as the BSC, Bryant-Stratton College.
Both of them coming from the NJCAAE, and again, we were talking about a team here, BSC Bobcats.
Mhm.
VA is what we were given, and this team is from Virginia, the main campus from Buffalo, New York, but they've got campuses spread out all over the East
Yes.
Coast. You got some in Wisconsin, Virginia, right, and then of course the main campus, New York. Wake Tech Eagles, on the other hand, you got the navy blue and gold from Raleigh there. So I mean, again, this is kind of a, if you will, a conference matchup in
Oh
the
yeah.
NJCAAE, and so this is going to be interesting to note. But first map we're going to go underway here is Lijiang Tower, and we got to see a little bit of this beforehand, and you know this map just as well as I do. We like crazy, but Night Market is the one that starts us off.
Oh yes, crazy indeed is on the docket. Lijiang Tower, not a better place for it. Standard rules on this one. We'll be going on to the hybrid, then escort, little 2 CP action, then rounding it off on the untieable control game mode if we do go the distance in this best of 5. On the prize pool side, there is what's worth more than money, and that is undying glory, fame, and everything in between, Clutch Key.
Everything I mean, in this case, in NJCAAE standards, I mean, a glory goes a long way, especially when you're going Wake Tech versus Bobcats at BSC. I mean, it is, you could technically, again, say it's a conference matchup, so this is the way it goes. Taking a look at the lineups here on both sides, Crimson King, Bab, VPAX, Dubbin, Roxelia, Jack the Hero, I should say, on the side of Wake Tech. Red side, Everlong, Slater, OBL, Cyber, Injustice, and Set for your BSC Bobcats. We're already underway, and Bat gets a great kill onto Slater from the very get-go, and that's a Tracer down too. So a lot of background damage gone for you, or rather backline damage gone, and it should be the Wake Tech Eagles that control this to start, but they're still not giving this up just yet. 6 people on the point, and now they're flipping their wave, but the fight's still not over yet.
Yeah, an absolute slobber knocker already. These teams not pensive about getting it going very early. Now, Everlong has been absolutely damaging from the outside. Now, that up, a lot more action to come.
12% and rolling. You can see the ultimates, 2 support ultimates already up for both Roxelia and Jack the Hero on the side of the Eagles of Wake Tech right now. Everlong does have that rocket barrage ready to go, but that sound barrier could provide useful. Landmines are going to come down, maybe for nothing there. And not really getting any effectiveness coming out for the BSC Bobcats, although Cyber does take down Bap. Both of the DPS is now down out of play, and this should be a win for your Bobcats from Virginia, and it absolutely will be. They're trying to back up the point as Baptiste goes nowhere.
Yeah, just a little bit of a slow burn there towards the end. What we saw in this first team fight here, Clutch, was a lot of ultimates coming up, and some of them having a lot more value than others. You mentioned the mines almost completely negated effectiveness-wise there from Cyber, unfortunately. Now Everlong up top, with death from above.
Everlong using that rocket barrage, by the way, to destroy the teleporter right away, so no movement coming from the side of Wake Tech for a little while, unless they want to try the teleporter strategy again. But you see the ultimates lining up. There are 6 ultimates that are going to be online here. Slater doesn't have a pulse bomb, but is going to try to tap VPAX a little bit. And he slept at the same time too, so VPAX in a little bit of trouble. Hit with the Bionate, has to back off. Immortality Field catches 5 though, including VPAX, so still not a bad way to get in. But 38% now, ultimate still reigning in. And all 6 ultimates. Here's where the craziness can happen here from this Wake Tech Eagles team. The Earth Shatter is up. Don't know how many this gets, but the self-destruct gets VPAX. That's a big kill. That's one shield down, one to go. And that was back going down. There's a rocket barrage. Might have been a little miscue there because he fired it right in the air with nobody there, although the teleporter might have brought them down from air. But any regards to the Bobcats, or rather any regards to Wake Tech Eagles, is for naught.
Yeah, so Bobcats here on the right, Everlong did utilize that, but still killed the McCree out. Generally, you're going to be seeing that coming the other way, and then an AFK, Everlong, something happened there, disconnected controller or something, attempted res. That isn't going to come through, but a burned out cooldown, the longest in the game, now out from Injustice.
Doing really well right now. Got the far down to half if it weren't for the Mercy, but that won't happen for a long time as OBL able to take him down. And OBL's doing some work in the back as you see both of the supports going down. And this fight is pretty much all but done already. Feedback down, 90% of rolling. Somebody's got to get to this point.
Yeah, it seems like the Bobcats have found their pace here in map 1 Lijiang. It was started off with both sides not great utilizations of ultimates, and that is Wake Tech Eagles swatted out of the sky here, game number 1. What we saw here in the beginning was also just individual pop-off capabilities from the Bobcats set. I don't think we got to watch them miss a single sleep dart clutch. When you're able to hit abilities like that left, right, and center, gonna find huge value for the squad.
Doing a wonderful job, and we saw that inside of the room towards the side in Restaurant Row where Set just landed the sleep dart, landed up that Bionade, and luckily enough, Roxelia had that Baptiste Immortality field. Otherwise, that was game over for VPAX. But moving on over now, we see the lineup switching up a little bit. Everlong will stay on side of the Pharaoh, which was big last round. But a little bit of a tank shakeup, if you will, for the Wake Tech Eagles. It's Delvin and VPAX. You've got them on the Ariso Roadhog combination, trying to pull them off maybe from environmental kills, but OBL Cyber onto the Wrecking Ball and Devo. Wow, Cyber taking out Crimson King right away, even though he was flashed from the start. Doesn't get much other than that, and already you can see the Bobcats just moving in already, and this is just all but over.
Yeah, a little bit more methodical there, starting them off with Crimson Key getting that crown taken off for the time being. Bobcats are all over this one after a litany of kills. Maybe I spoke too soon, Clutchkey.
Moves on over to, by the way, to the Hanzo, and is just hitting shots right now. Headshots left and right, can't miss. For a little while, at least, Jack the Hero will fall off the map. I'm surprised about that, and they do flip the point in the meantime, but the fight's not over yet. You still have the Devo. Not at the ultimate yet. Slater's just trying to make sure this hangs on. And, I mean, needed the immortality field a little bit, maybe for the Tracer, but the Tracer's going to have a pulse bomb here in a second. And this is if you're going to talk about an impressive fight right now, how about Slater just trying to turn this around by himself? Pulse bomb is on, and it's not going to find anybody, but Cyber able to do the follow-up. And yes, it is. BSC Bobcats look like they can take this over.
My, oh my, the Slater Cyber combination right there. We didn't get a little interpretive dance, we could call it, from Slater there towards the end. This is going to be the Bobcats taking the lead here in just a bit. And Clutch, if you're looking for a key to success here for the Bobcats, simply keep Everlong up top. No reason to change up the composition really here at all. The pulled pork so far from Delvin and VPAX really has not worked out.
Percentage rolling now. We'll have the Deadeye come out, but that Deadeye's all for naught. Crimson King wasted, and the Rocket Barrage is not wasted because now you have 3 kills total from Everlong, and this is all but over. There's no fight.
Yeah, so just head on back to this to the spawn room, kind of examine your mistakes, figure out what you want to do. Now, I'm not saying completely abandon the pulled pork already. It's just Crimson King, excuse me, I got Clutch Key on the brain. Crimson King just needs a little bit more support from his support straight up. I'm not saying even necessarily a mercy for the damage boost, but Crimson just needs a little bit more time to reign supreme.
The landmines will come out from the side, and that's going to force out a little bit of a zone. Delvin's in trouble. No healing coming to him whatsoever. That self-destruct gets both of the supports, and again, you lose the supports super early on. Now, this fight does not even matter again. And I mean, this is just the wipe right now from the side of the BSC Bobcats.
Yeah, looking for a sponsorship from Clorox on this one because this is just some cleanup here towards the end. Find the aisle appropriate for that one, pick up a few supplies. 10 seconds away or so, the best option really is Jack going to be able to come in here. VPAX now switching onto the Diva. Not sure if they're going to be able to touch onto this one. Vamp obviously can't dash across these open areas. Now on top, that's exactly what we got so far. And keeping the team alive for right now.
There's the rocket barrage coming out, and everybody's got to fight for that point, and you're going to get damaged right away. Oh, that sound barrier. What a rocket there. That pushes away the sound barrier so that nobody else has caught into it besides that Lucio, and that's going to win the Bobcats a perfect victory there. A 2-0 win for them on the very first map of Lijiang Tower. But what a win that was. Everlong has to be your play of the game here, and it absolutely is. 100% got to be the second map.
Yeah, so this, I mean, you throw a damage boost on top, you're always going to have a good time. Now, that nano boost comes in a little bit later. Everlong actually starts this with that, with the Orisa shield right in front of him. That might have been a different story because he did get a solid bit of damage against him. Without the damage reduction that comes in from that nano boost, we might have not even seen this as play of the game and sent an otherwise embarrassing form of that barrage from above. As it was, perfect placements, and the support is there all day long. And you let a Pharah like this rain, bad things are going to happen if you're on the other side of this. Now, I know I mentioned earlier, I can't speak enough about it. Set right there onto the Ana, didn't really get called out, didn't really get picked off so much. And for a character that has 0 movement abilities, Ana's always going to be that very susceptible to divey tanks, susceptible to long range damage. Always have to keep your Anas protected.
What a game overall. Everlong, if you could see the end cards there with the damage, you got to tell him you're the player of the map, I should say, because 38% of the team's damage, over 13,000 damage done in 2 rounds, mind you. So that, I mean, big plays from that Pharah overall. Again, 38% is just an insane amount of damage coming from, especially with the rest of the team following up as it is. Bobcats lead 1-0 in the series score, by the way. It is BSC, rather, the Bobcats from the Virginia campus. Again, the main campus in Buffalo, but this is the Virginia team against the Wake Tech Eagles. We'll see what their next map is. It'll be Wake Tech's pick. So if now we're going on to the assault mode, and talk about you've got a couple of options here, I guess, with the way Wake Tech was playing, but against this Bobcats team, that map pool kind of gets a little bit smaller.
Yeah, there's definitely adaptations there. And speaking of, we'll see what this team kind of comes up with during our short break here and how they want to reapproach this Bobcats squad, try and come out on top. And we are back here, and we are live, Overwatch fans. The battle between Wake Tech, that's the Eagles, the BSC, Bryant-Stratton College, that's the Bobcats, continues now. A big mouthful there. Volskaya Industries here coming up next, little 2CP action, little salt action. We saw how Lijiang Tower went. That was what, 44 to 100, 33 to 100, both going the way of the BSC Bobcats. Is that correct, Kevsky?
Yep, so first map went 100 to 41 in favor of the BSC back on night market. Back to the Gardens a little bit, and you still got a little, it wasn't a great fight overall for Wake Tech. They did get a few percentage off in an early flip, but otherwise it was all BSC right after that. So it's been domination so far in the hands of the Bobcats from Virginia, but a little bit of a sub now if you're going for BSC. This is Narwhal in for Cyber as we head into Volskaya Industries. So you're going to see a little bit something different going on the DPS side. And we remember, or rather on the tank side, I should say, because we remember Cyber was on that Wrecking Ball. So this could be something different for composition-wise as we head on into Volskaya Industries. And composition here can range to anything, I mean, basically. But I think a lot of times in Overwatch League and Tier 1, we saw, like, Echoes being played here a lot of times. But that might not be the case here as we see the lineup starting off. Everlong on the Hanzo, Slater on the Tracer. DPS-wise for the side of Wake Tech, you've got Vamp on the Cowboy, and you've got Crimson King on the Doomfist. So this is going to be interesting to find out what their... and basically, there's no such thing as a mirror in this game mode. We haven't seen this all game.
Yeah, not at all. And what we saw, Bobcats really use that Injustice Mercy pocket very well earlier. Now, Fair isn't undoable here, but I really like what both squads are at least showing for right now. Luxelia, no reason to fix it if it ain't broke. Jack the hero over there on the Lucio. I like the standard Reinhardt-Zarya combination between them. Coming across the middle, always a hard one to get across. Clutchkey, take it away.
Yeah, OBL's on the Wrecking Ball now. They're just going to let them in past the archway there. And not much else other than that. They're already going to start to try to contest the point. And already Everlong cannot miss the start. Already warmed up, I guess, after game number 1. And that's just easy see pickings all over the place. DPS doing any of the work there.
Yeah, doing everything in a bag of chips on this one. VPAC's choosing to come all the way back, join the rest of the squad, and here comes a wholesale switch. Roxalia going off on, then coming back. Maybe a little bit of communications error there. I mean, not a whole lot of ultimate percentage-wise being burned, but at least some. It's not ideal.
It's not ideal to burn, not ideal, but I mean, if you're a support, you build that up pretty fast, depending on what your team can do. OBL, by the way, gets a lot of shield. Was down to half health, but good thing has that shield there with about 3 minutes left to go. And Everlong again hitting the Tracer. Of all characters to hit there, you hit the fastest character here, and not much else doing other than this. It's all BSC right now.
Yeah, these tanks doing about as much as the DPS are right now. Narwhal OBL just absolutely blanketing, smothering, and covering like it's hash browns over a Waffle House. So I'll tell you, and Jack, just not able to keep the dreams alive really right there. I would like to see Wake Tech, protect their sports just a little bit more here, but it is decently hard when you have DPS like this just picking apart your squad.
I'm sorry, did Slater just use that pulse bomb at spawn to kill Crimson King? I think
so.
I think it was back at spawn. So
worth it,
so
though.
That wasted even. Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasted extra 10 seconds on the clock. OBL now drops the landmine. Is this gonna find anybody though? I mean, yeah, you're surrounded, but now he's slept. We'll see if this works out here. He's gonna get the hook, but maybe a little bit of a miscommunication because both of them were gonna hook and punch at the same time. So OBL is still alive. VPAX will get slept. And I don't think VPAX has anywhere to run in this point, so it is still all BSC. The Bobcats are just handling this game very easily right now. Yeah,
there's the Delvin switch now. I like this. They needed a shield to come out at this. Being pushed at spawn door, not ideal. The Tracer play from Slater, I really like this, and here's why, Clutch Key. Tracer obviously getting her ultimate so much faster than everybody else in the game, and sticking on to a very sticky and just like really hard, a wonky character to hit like this Doomfist that Crimson King is playing. I love that all day long. It's investment all day long and burn time from the offense. As it is, Slater and Narwhal both falling. These DPSs have something else to say about it.
Great res, by the way. Very risky, but Injustice able to bring back Narwhal, even with the starting pick there. And set with a Bionate off the VPAX. What a kill there. That's huge. How was Injustice able to get out, by the way? That's a big mercy play from them already, just waiting for the signal, but 52 seconds left on the clock. It is not looking good, and especially when Set gets 2 Bionate kills on the same fight. I mean, that is big for them already.
This speaks to how long the fight is going.
Yeah, and already Wake Tech is into desperation mode. Final 30 seconds. You take a look at the ultimate. There's a Dragon Strike that's going to get thrown in the corner, and that might be useful later on, but not right now because it doesn't find anything. But Everlong still can't miss.
Everlong is just making it seem like everybody else is standing still. He's the one traveling 100 miles an hour. Crazy stuff so far. Everlong has just really been putting on a clinic on how to take out usually hard to hit heroes. Anna again left out in lurch, little stick action on top, and this is the rest of the DPS from the Bobcats just going to be hunting down their prey. Clutchkey. Nice stick, but I'm not sure if that's going to be too much. Still keeping it alive for right now. Everlong.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's bad. And another dragon at the end. Just little style points, Clutch.
Yeah, Everlong cannot miss, and that allows the team from BSC to complete it without giving up a single tick. So you take a look at the time, 4 minutes to get even 1 tick. And the way the Bobcats are playing right now, blue, white, lime, green looking very good to go already. And it's just right now, Everlong back on going to the previous map on the Farah, and now this map on the Hanzo. I mean, does Everlong miss?
I don't know. If you ask Twitter, I can guarantee you they'd say no. But if you take it to the actual game, I think we have proof right here. We definitely saw him hit more, especially the clutch shots, than missed. Straight up. Even with he's utilizing the other kinds of arrows right there, right? We saw him put the recon arrow right into the cabeza of this Orisa all the same. Tanks-wise, I gotta ask, is there something that Wake Tech here could come forth at and kind of put forward to you that might change the tide of the battle that's going for them?
I mean, honestly, if you're looking at a tank lineup for the side of
Wake Tech,
I mean, you have to stop Everlong, but then again, there's still the rest of the team you have to worry about. So, I mean, it just comes down to, at least for me, positioning as well as, I mean, just hitting shots, because Crimson King on this app is gonna have to hit a lot of shots. And it's, I mean, at the same time too, Everlong was hitting shots onto the Tracer, which was Vamper. Crimson King, forgot who it was. I believe it was Vamper who was on that Tracer earlier, just did not miss any shots. But if that Tracer can give you a little bit more value on the back, I think that's huge for you. And already the Dynamite hitting Slater. And look at that, Slater's already down. The Discord Orb gives you a lot of value as well, but Everlong can't miss. Crimson King isn't gonna miss on the shot after Everlong, and that's a big pick already. I mean, you've got both the Mercy and the Hanzo down to start, but it's still BSC that's winning this fight. Slater taking down VPAX is huge. Remember, spawn room in favor of the attacking team. They're already a third of the way to the first pick, and this is already a clean-up job. They're not even going to need 60 seconds to clean up house here, and it's just all but over. 3 minutes, 13 seconds is all that's left on that clock, but it is, I mean, for what, 47 seconds, enough time for the BSC Bobcats to go up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, and they a quick way to do it as well. Reasonably play the game coming from our Everlong Hanzo. I thought this was going to be the recon grenade or the recon arrow into the Orisa, but still, I think that just goes to show just how much of a living highlight reel this guy really is. Everlong coming in, and I'm trying to reach for Everlong song titles to make really bad puns coming in here, because I'm certain that we're gonna see him on stream here again a lot more. Our observers obviously go where the action is.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like an Everlong show right now. Obviously, just hitting shots all over the place. You saw both games, by the way, both play of the games belonging to Everlong so far, right? One on the Pharah back on Lijiang Tower, one on the side of Sky Industries on the Hanzo. But again, that shows you the versatility of this team from the Bobcats as well. With, right, Everlong on the Pharah, I keep saying it, Everlong on the Pharah and as well as on the Hanzo too. Those are two different aiming types, mind you.
Yeah.
One is, I mean, both of them, yes, projectiles, but one moves at a different speed than the other. Yeah,
exactly.
technically speaking, projectiles. Yeah, but they move at different speeds, so it just shows you the versatility of both of Everlong and the rest of the team. Next map coming up is Kings Row. This is where you can be a little more creative. I would say Bobcats up 2-0. You could see something funky here as well. It doesn't even have to be a standard composition. You see, unlike tier 1 tournaments, right? You don't see any bans here, so anything is out in the open. There are different compositions you can have here. What I would love to see from Wake Tech, if they play the Hanzo, maybe I don't know. At this point, Wake Tech's got to find something deep in their bellies to try and get a point off of this one, because right now, again, they have not scored a single map point, not a tick on Sky Industries, no points. Got a little bit of percentage back on Lijiang Tower, but really, yeah, I mean, really just no map points at all. This is their chance to do it. Kings Row is a favorite amongst players, and this is Wake Tech's pick, as it was against Sky Industries. We'll see.
Yeah, so again, this is them picking the map here, so they'll be coming through and hopefully performing on a map that they're very comfortable in. At this point, Clutch, obviously, it's obvious just to play the Dominoes game of just get rid of this Hanzo, right? And even if he goes on the fair, just kill one player. I think they need to take more of an offensive look at it, whether or not just pick a DPS and just pour a lot of your resources into this. Let tanks do what they do. No direction really there is needed as much. But so far, what we've seen is one team put everything they have into one player. That's Everlong here for the Bobcats, and it's paid off in absolute diamond, gold, and everything in between. Try and do something similar to that. See how that pressure really is applied to the Bobcats, and if that forces them to crush and a fold or not, because right now, Ballas and Bobcats, they're dribbling, they're heading on down. Kings Row could be the final resting place for Wake Tech squad. I'm so sorry for keep saying that.
Well, they sound the same. You're just one word off. I mean, Tech Forest. I mean, but it's still the same. I mean, I think Wake Forest is in the Carolina somewhere as well. So I mean, there's still it's okay though. But still, Wake Tech Eagles and BSC Bobcats, Bryant-Stratton Bobcats. If you've been missing the action so far, again, Lijiang Tower. It's been all the Bobcats so far. Lijiang Tower 2-0. Only percentage points on New Markets and Gardens was just a little bit for the side of the Eagles of Wake Tech. Sky Industries, not a single tick for the blue and gold, but for the side of the blue, white, and lime green out of BSC, they got it in 47 seconds. I mean, that's how dominant they've been this entire way through. We go up to Kings Row now, and again, you can get creative here for if your side of the Bobcats, because I mean, this is basically to interpretation. You've got so many options, and for Null, and even if you were to focus down one person from the side of the Bobcats, right? Everlong's got you. If you cover that Hanzo, guess what? Goes into the air and plays the Pharaoh. Could even play an Echo for all we know at this point. But by land, by air, by sea at this point, it looks like Everlong can get you those kills, and even then you still have some different tanks. Narwhal swaps out for Cyber, but stays in on the last map, but stays in for this map now. And we saw that the plays coming out from the Winston at the same time. I mean, needing to use an ult here and there, but most of the time it's still working out in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's almost like simple logic to say, oh, well, you know, you're going against a Hanzo, play double shield. I can guarantee you at that point, we would see the Pharah take to the skies and a switch over to the Mercy, even if they had not been playing it up to that point. Showing so far, Bobcats no Mercy on point. But hey, maybe that's even that would even be kind of good, right? Forcing a switch onto comps, maybe halfway through their offensive push or whatever else like that, because the Wake Tech Eagles will take it however they can. Looking at more standard comps. I don't think anybody on the Bobcats is playing right now here. They have not played before, except for maybe Slater. I think we saw the Genji on the other side, right?
Slater on the Genji on the other side was, I mean, they did do some damage, but again, mainly the Hanzo of Everlong was the story of that last round. But Slater almost going down already, down to a third of his health. Does get back to the rest of the team in time. They're going to go right through Alderworth building into the fight now. Look how fast this team is playing from the blue side of Wake Tech, but it's not even going to matter when Narwhal just swing away. And that's already going to be free tick. That might even be the point.
Yeah, you see a full team of players just beating feet out of the Alderworth Hotel like they are close to their late checkout time. Clutch Key, been there before myself. 35 seconds into this one, 38 seconds into this one, and the Bobcats going to be taking the entirety of point number 1 and starting their run with just under 6 minutes in this. Slater just chased down and beaten in the street.
So looking good so far for the side of the offense for BSC, but I mean, Slater going down is a big pick for you already, but still, look at how aggressive Narwhal is. He already has an Earth Shatter, by the way, when Delvin is there, and Earth Shatter is big. 2 down inside of it, but the Immortality Field saves them. It does not save the back line, and Crimson King able to take it. Delvin does die on that hand, but it is still in favor of this team from BSC right now. Narwhal is just absolutely on a tear. Look how much percentage. Again, Jestu's the Earth Shatter, already at 44%, and Delvin's still coming with the 71% on that Earth Shatter. This is how insane this game is.
Yeah, insane right here. Narwhal, crazy stuff. We call that one the swish and flick in the business. Turn to one side, smashing the other one down, and taking all the value in the world from it. OBL gonna be back to this Diva soon. I think might be even using the tech falling down to the mech falling down to even try and get a K. Not gonna happen. I just gotta say I hated that change, but take it away, Clutchkey.
Come on, how can you hate the change? It was by the way from the April School patch, but what a pulse bomb by the way from Baptistic onto Injustice, but slash dash and hack away is Slater, and this is not even gonna matter at this point. A team kill, and guess what? Add another 90 to the bank, and you got 5 minutes and 49 seconds for them to push it up all the way through. So, I mean, it's looking really, really good right now for BSC, but, I mean, Delvin, again, doesn't have an ultimate yet. We haven't seen it.
Good for the Bobcats, grim for the Wake Tech Eagles. I gotta come back at that. You said that that was from one of the April Fool's demos?
Yeah, it was from the April. It was from the April Fool's patch, and then everybody liked it so much that they kept it in. So it works out in their favor. By the way, OBL is hungry apparently because BPAC just threw in a Graviton Surge into OBL, and OBL just gulped it down in one bite with the defense matrix. And now 5:10 left to go. This is all BSC as they move into the home stretch.
Man, oh man, still got 5 minutes on top. They won't end with that long, and guarantee at this point, but haven't not really stopped rolling so far. Oh my goodness, that's how you take down 2 supports in 1.
Yeah, Delvin finally gets the Earth Shatter, but it's not going to work out anymore, as well as that Deadeye gets 2. Now swings away the hammer, and Vamp is caught inside of it. Solo for that tracer to make sure that they go down right away, but this is not looking good whatsoever. Hero Bryant able to res up V-Packs, but for how much longer can they stall? They have to get picks if they want this to succeed. Roxelia knocking Injustice off the map might help out a little bit, but switching on over to the Wrecking Ball from the side of Delvin from that Reinhardt. And this is all BSC. The kill feed lights up in red. And with 21 seconds over the standard time back, in goes Uno Dos Adios. All 3 points for the side of BSC.
Yeah, that's a great job, I gotta say, by Wake Tech towards the end. Their ability to stagger out and waste a lot of time, just compared to the rest of this game, I'm not trying to be too negative, but compared to the rest of the game, does show prominence and show they really do know how to play this game. It's just the utilization of which, there's the difference between knowing and doing. It's why I'm on this side of the desk. I'm no longer playing Clutch Key. It's knowing versus being able to perform that right there. I just want to see Wake Tech come back and kind of recreate the goal line push they had there towards the end. Obviously was for naught. BCS came through and took that down with a lot of time in the bank, but they were rolling around this corner here with 5+ minutes. There's a lot of time eaten off there towards the end, and they did a great job kind of keeping it up towards the very last.
5:49 was their starting time to get to the 3rd point alone. Remember, your starting time bank is 4 minutes on the clock. The fact that they ran that through as fast as they did with 5:49 on the clock and ending up with 21 seconds over the standard time bank is impressive in itself, meaning if you do the math correctly, they only took 1 minute and 28 seconds to make sure that payload gets to the 3rd and final point. So what a round overall for BSC, as has been for the rest of this match. But now you're going to see if Wake Tech can get their first points later on the Widowmaker. We'll see if he can get any picks. Just body checks the Winston for just a little while on top of the statue. But again, look at the aggressiveness here from this team in blue, or rather from the team in red, I should say. They're just going to push them right away. And Everlong onto this Junkrat now, which I think I will say this for someone off camera, makes somebody, one of our producers, very happy. The Junkrat is on and playing here, already at 61% and rolling, and almost gets just a percentage difference. Look at this already.
I like the Junkrat, especially if you're looking at this choke point right here and the ability to bounce these grenades around from the ever random Junkrat. This is not a bad move by any means. Slater in the back just finding heads like it's Halloween. Here comes a Riptire. Already gotten that one for all the benefit in the world from these Junkrat grenades. Now searching out. Hey, there you go. That's how you utilize a little projected barrier action.
Very nice.
That ultimate turn. So that turns into basically a 1, maybe even 2 kill into the charge up here for those Zaryas, the V-Packs on the side of Wake Tech.
Yeah, but you can take a look at how well they're defending this gate. They're not letting anybody in right now, and 2 minutes and 40 seconds already gone by. I don't think, even if you tried right now, trying to match up the Timex is out of the realm of possibility for the side of Wake Tech. BSC holding on to this halfway done, halfway through with their first part. Vamp is going to try to go around and does destroy the Venom Mine from Widowmaker, which means now Slater using the infrared sight gives him a little bit of sight line, but that's a big kill. V-Packs taking down OBL, and especially with the recent patch where that cooldown starts with the grappling hook, that doesn't work out well. But Everlong getting 2 picks anyways, and this is all for naught at this point. As again, backed up behind the gate one more time, halfway through their first attack.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just seems once the Eagles come in, swoop down, and pick off some prey, rest of the squad is quickly eliminated. Perhaps it's a matter of kind of aggression, right? Wake Tech takes an early pick, and they just need to take this play by play, literally. Just take it a little bit slower and stuff like that. Don't necessarily dive onto picks that are good. They might be great, they might be good, but don't take bad positioning as a consequence.
Second rim tire already ready to go here for Everlong. Crimson King has a Deadeye to use, but Narwhal does still have that shield. There's the Gravitic Flux up. Sound Barrier's going to keep them alive for a little while, but it's not going to keep them alive long enough for the side of blue, I should say. And I should say, Hero Bryant had the Sound Barrier to use, didn't use it, holds on to it with 1:17 left. I guess they want to get all of their abilities up, but you still have a Nano Boost to worry about. You still have a Landmines to worry about here. There's a lot of ultimates up, but it's the way you use it coming up.
Yeah, Delvin off the whole hog, that's the only real ultimate that matters that much in this push. Vamp with the sights is not that big a deal once you come in here. Now Delvin taking out one, the soft support, and Hero Bryant deleted for the time being. Here comes the High Noon Crimson finding a little bit of rest for the weary here for the Wake Tech Eagles.
Yeah, there's some hope and a little bit of an emote coming out from Crimson King, knowing he's got a candidate for play of the game that will help them out a little bit with 41 seconds left to go. Slayer, how about the dome? Doesn't even stop there. They will get the point, but the dome is the exclamation mark right at the end of the defensive hold. 3 minutes left to go as they unlock the payload.
There you go. Wake Tech not out of this one quite yet. Not extinct, this species of eagle. Shots over the top, little widow on widow action. See who is left alive, who is left standing there at the end. I think Slater definitely has this number back and forth. That's Vamp on the other side, not able to sink the fangs into this one quite yet.
They're still working out really well too. It's Slater again with the dome. I mean, you look at the way that the side of BSC is playing right now. Look at where they are trying to defend this payload. They have not moved that payload up at all whatsoever. And now the landmines are going to make sure that that doesn't move up any further. Here, Bryant caught him in it, and now you have the Zarya just cornered all around. This, I mean, where's his Roadhog going? Roadhog's going to try for the back pick. Now has the whole hog. Slater can't get away from it. Down to 7th health. How are you alive?
Wow.
How did you get away from that? And now Delvin goes down. And again, you take a look at the difference here. I think the biggest difference for the team out of ESC right now, for them winning, it's their aggressiveness. They're just putting on such a show for them right now. And I don't even think they're going to get underneath the arch right now with this amount of space.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates were just deleted and used here in this previous, 65-second fight or so. Coming up to that is a Junkrat tire here soon. Narwhals is up top, and Justice will have that nano boost soon. But Wake Tech not that far out when it comes to talk about the, as a Lucio, I'm kind of happy that it got away. As a Wake Tech puller for right now, kind of wanted to see the hook.
Riptire coming out. We'll see where this finds. Everlong looking for the spawn doors for a little while. Maybe looking for the Genji, but instead, again, the Lucio going down. I'm sorry you have to keep seeing Lucio die here, man. I know you play Lucio a lot, but it's not a pretty sight if you're looking at 1 minute 10 left to go. Deadite's going to come out. Is this going to find anybody? That's a very narrow walkway for Crimson King to try to use the Deadeye in, and it's not going to find anything. Injustice got hooked from the way back side, even though he got bumped up. But now the stab barrier is up for basically what is both sides, but Seb's going to go down. And now there's light at the end of the tunnel with 50 seconds left to go, but they're not going to be able to push this with time left on the clock. It's going to hit overtime.
Yeah, 45 seconds, tough ask, even if you triple up on top of this one. There's only a couple team fights that's really going to separate them from, or only really a single team fight that will separate them from coming into this and taking time versus coming in and having to get it done in overtime. Of course, as we said, they will be rewarded a little bit extra time if they do get here, Wake Tech Eagles will. So not out of this one quite yet. It's just not looking good.
20, it's not looking good right now. 22 seconds remaining on the clock here with, again, this is just Ultimate Cities that's going to come up here within the final seconds. Desperation mode. Slater domes hero Brian, and this has been the story of this mode so far. We've seen Everlong. I mean, Everlong the last 2 games has been the story. This time around, it's Slater coming in with the big dome. Nobody even touches the point because of the landmine spreading them out. And that's a 1-2-3 sweep series in favor of the Bobcats out of Virginia.
Yes, sir. Wake Tech is able to take themselves a point here in the end after initializing this first point on King's Row. A little bit of okay, so it's not gonna be a darn Hanzo play the game again. A little bit of Sigma play. That shot at the end, I want to believe that he'd been able to track that from the bottom, and that was not just a mistake, because talk about a perfect double shot here. The projectiles coming out from this Sigma. Obviously, this was a little bit more one-sided here, but it seems like towards the beginning of this matchup, Clutchkey, and the end of this matchup is really where we saw Wake Tech come forth and put kind of their best foot forward. They even came forward and they were actually ahead in the control on the lead Jong to begin with, and it just kind of didn't take very long for their opponents, the Bobcats, to kind of come out, sniff out, suss out what exactly it is that they needed to figure out and what they needed to come out with on top to make sure that there really was just not a whole lot of breathing room for your Wake Tech squad. Anything else BSC wise, Bryant-Stratton college wise, Bobcats wise, little their DPS were just doing exactly what DPS needed to do. They were plowing past front lines, the DPS coming in at their supports or whatnot, maybe getting a little bit of a tank damage in edge wise there, but it was always about these supports, and there really was just no rest for the weary for these two supports for the side of the Eagles. Even if it wasn't tank ultimates hanging out, which obviously only comes, every once in a while, is these DPS just giving them absolute hell, man.
I completely agree with that, but let's get down to it here because I mean we're starting to wrap it up. Again, it is a best of 5, so 3-0 win here. And if you're
Yep,
just
yep, yep,
joining
yep.
us here, we've got BSC Bobcats winning Lijiang Tower 2-0, Volsky Industries 1-0, Kings Row 3-1. They do get a map point for the side of
Yeah.
Wake Tech, but not quite enough to push through. Anyway, so I mean it was just a complete showing by BSC. And Tugboat, I gotta ask you, sir. You watched the same game I did, so yeah, you, sir. Yes, you, the one pointing at yourself. Yes, your player of the match, sir. Do you have a player of the match in your
Undying
mind?
Glory, the FBI type. There you go. Player of the
Yes.
match. I don't want to just do the knee-jerk reaction and kick it to our Hans over here for the Bobcats. So I'm going to say, give me just 90 seconds or so. We're going to go to a very short break. You'll have that Tugboat answer when we get back. And we'll also have primed and ready to go for you. Little interview action from one of our winning team members. We'll be back with you guys in just a minute. And we are back. Little post-match interview action coming hot at you. FBI Tugboat here. My man Clutchkey over there. And we got OBI from what it was, one of the tanks from
Yes,
the
sir.
Bobcats. Is that correct, Abby? Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
gotcha. Word. Glad that I got it right. My old aging brain, right? I know I just watched it for 45 minutes, but yes, OBI coming on in here. So I'll start you off a little question action, and we'll throw it on over to Clutchkey, keep more Overwatch, and then throw it back on over. Thank you for your time and get you on out of here. Okay.
No problem. Let's get it going.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So I gotta ask, we've already had problems with it already. How often do people say your tag wrong from OBI to OBL?
It's the reason I switched to OBI because it was like people just kept shortening OBL to OB, so it's kind of the nickname I just picked up, and now I just stick with OB kind of.
Gotcha. So it wasn't
Yeah.
intended like that, but that is how it
No,
turned out ultimately.
I've kind of just taken it, and now I just use OB.
All right, well, Obi, let's move on here with the game itself. You guys had a very dominant game again, 3-0. Series score 2-0 on Lijiang Tower, 1-0 on Volsky Industries, Kings Row 3-1. Noticing one of the matchups you guys swapped on Narwhal in for Cyber back on Volsky Industries and kept Narwhal in for Kings Row. Was that sort of more of a compositional issue, or was that more of sort of you just want to get the ball rolling with a different composition in terms of, movement and aggressiveness?
It's it's still preseason, so we want to try all the comps we could really try with different people, and especially because we wanted Narwhal was in the championship game last year, and we wanted him to kind of play in this match so he could get the feel again. But we're kind of just trying comps still. Every scrim we try different comps, different teams, and so yeah, that was kind of more of this. We're just testing stuff while it's still preseason.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it looked at it's absolutely like you guys were testing out different things. I shouldn't say testing out. It looked very good throughout the whole thing, but there were different compositions that you guys had through the different phases, of course. But one I do want to talk about, not just the DPSs where you guys had the Winston, the Wrecking Ball at times, and then you had the Reinhardt Zarya coming in at some points or another. DPS line changed up a little bit as well. You've had the Everlong on that Hanzo in the second game, and then third game was a little bit different on the Junkrat. First game you go on over to the Pharah. I mean, you guys are trying out different things, but in your mind, what composition worked out for you the best?
Personally, I loved like a dive composition. It's a really fast-paced comp, and it
Yeah.
suits a lot
Yeah.
of our play styles. I know we have a monkey main. I used to main ball. We have a great Pharah player, 47, 38 peak. I mean, what could we say, man? He's just our dive is just
What do you
amazing.
say?
Yeah, it's like our dive is just insane. It's definitely our best comp.
Gotcha. Yeah, so maybe this question makes a lot more sense. So not necessarily what teammate would you nix from the team, but say if you had seven, who would you want to have two of your teammates? You can't say yourself.
Oh, dang. Well, you kind of just took that out, man. I love myself. If I could have
There you go. There you go.
two of the same teammates,
Well, then you'd have to fight yourself, right? Isn't that how like the theoretical question goes, or is fight
uh,
or another word?
yeah. Oh man, that's a tough question. I think I'd take Everlong.
Everlong,
Definitely.
gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
because
Everlong.
I could have him on Pharah and then have him on Echo, and then I just have double Sky, and both
There
of
you
those are
go.
insane, dude. Okay.
There you go. One
Yeah,
on yeah,
I
that
was
makes
super
sense.
surprised I didn't see the Echo earlier tonight. So it was, I mean, it was refreshing to see overall. But I mean, like, if I can ask just one more question before we start heading away here, you guys heading into the season, you said it was preseason, still got the regular season left to come here in NJCAA. Give me what is your team's confidence level like going into the rest of the season?
Oh, we know we're winning it all. We like dude, we
There you
Oh,
we're
go.
not
all
we're
right.
not afraid. We know
Like
that like we're the top team, and everyone's gonna be aiming to beat us, and we're ready. We've been set for a while, so we're
You
good
heard
to
that,
go.
everyone? You heard that? You heard it here first. My man, OBI with strong words, but hey, definitely the performance, at least today, to have backed it up. OBI, I want to thank you for coming on and giving us a minute of your time after the game.
Thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck on the rest of your season as well.
Appreciate
With
it.
that, though, Clutchkey, I do believe we have reached my least favorite part of any broadcast, and that, of course, is the end. I want to give huge form shout outs to the sponsors and some of the people and organizations that kind of make this possible yet again. That's the Army National Guard. You've seen some of their ad reads here. You can see some of their ads, excuse me. You can see plenty more of what they're doing on their Twitter and their website. HyperX, as well as Lenovo, some higher end esports hardware, some of the clicky clacks, some of the headsets, and more. You can check out what they have up over there on their website. The NJCAA, of course, the National Junior College Athletic Association, esports wise at the end, hence the E at the end. Did I get that right there, Colton? Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. The voice in my head, and Clutchkey's head.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
in our
Yes,
heads.
yes, yes. These voices
I
exist. I promise. I promise.
I always say about Colton, he's the the little shoulder angel that you have
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there,
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
whispering into your ear, right?
Not the devil, but the shoulder angel, right?
Yeah,
Not the devil, but the shoulder. Yeah, yeah,
Whichever you shoulder you
yeah.
prefer, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Shout out as well as EMP Live Design. That is the organization that Colton and K-Tat are a part of. It's a fantastic broadcasting organization right there, and they can really hit a lot of needs, necessities. Anything broadcast wise, you need to figure it out. Go check out EMP Live Design. I have no idea why you would do anything beyond that. Also, hit up our managing partner. Excuse me. That's CSMG, otherwise known, of course, as the Collegiate. I had to look down again. The Collegiate Sport Management Group. Fantastic group right there, and huge shout out to them for helping to make this here possible, as well as K-Tat, of course, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Colton, for producing away and making our jobs as casters just so much easier. I do really appreciate it. With that, Clutch Key, though, you got anything else for the good people before we tell them good night and have a good
I
one?
do have one thing I want to say, and that is
Let's hear
thank
it.
you to you, sir, for coming on down, and of course to everybody else to the viewers that came down to watch this show match between two good teams. Honestly, going into the season, you love to see the both teams coming up, and this was like Obi said, it was a preseason match, it was a showcase match, so they're gonna run into the regular season, obviously trying different compositions. Didn't work out as well for Wake Tech as it did for BSC, but I do like both teams going into it, so we will see. But other than that, I've got nothing else, and you can take us away.
Yep, yeah, that's going to be it. Appreciate you guys watching. Undying Glory going the way of the Bobcat. Excuse me, going the way of the Bobcats for right now. 3-0 for them. And we'll catch you guys next time.